Taking into account the 9 days he had already served, his actual confinement amounted to 81 days. Commencing his sentence on May 14th, Mystikal was incarcerated at the East Baton Rouge Parish Jail. During his time behind bars, he appeared in court not only to address the domestic battery charges, but also for a hearing related to determining child support payments for his 2 youngest children. Once again, Mystikal's release from jail occurred in August 2012, providing some respite from the legal entanglements that had characterized this particular phase of his life. But in spite of this relief, the rapper's journey continued to be marked by this pattern of legal problems, which contributed to a tale of both personal and professional struggles. For Mystikal, the brief time he spent again in prison and the intervening 5 years seemed like a positive sign that his dance with the justice system had come to an end. But it was not going to be so easy. On August 21st, 2017, once again rapper Mystikal found himself in a tango with the justice system. This time he turned himself into the Caddo Parish Sheriff's Department and was subsequently arrested and charged with Mystikal, it seems, could not learn a lesson from his past convictions and was faced again with accusations of sexually assaulting a woman in Shreveport, Louisiana on October 22nd, 2016.
All right. Now, this happened one time. You said you didn't do it the way they say you did. How do you let yourself get in a situation where this happens the second time? If it happened once, that should have let you know that you was moving wrong. And not just in that certain situation, but like in life, you're probably moving wrong. You you don't get away from get out of one situation and put yourself right back into that exact same situation. We all bump our heads, but if you allow anything remotely similar to what you've already been through, then you went through it the first time for nothing because you didn't learn. That should have told you I got to maneuver different. I got to move different. I got to stop surrounding myself with these yes men who are going to approve of every single thing that I do and put myself around real dudes that's going to say, hey, man, chill out. What is you doing right now? That's how it's supposed to be. That's how you learn from your mistakes, by putting yourself in a better situation the next time. This never should have came around again.
According to reports from news media sources, Shreveport police issued an arrest warrant for Mystikal and another individual, Averwoon Holman, on the Friday preceding the rapper's surrender. Holman, who was also charged with first-degree, had been arrested on the same day. The alleged incident occurred at a Shreveport casino, coinciding with Mystikal's Legends of Southern Hip-Hop concert in the city. Investigators claim to have gathered evidence at the scene that implicated both Mystikal and Holman in the reported attack. In addition to the primary charges, the police were actively seeking another individual, Tanikia Wofford, who was accused of attempting to persuade the victim to drop charges against Mystikal and Holman. Wofford faced charges of accessory after the fact to first-degree rape. Things were not looking good for Mystikal, whose troubled history included prior arrests and convictions. The gravity of the accusations and the apparent connection to a public event added layers of complexity to the situation and drew attention from both the media and fans. As Mystikal faced this new
Here's one thing you need to do before you buy anything online. Don't spend another dime on Amazon until you watch this first.
Legal battle, the public awaited further developments in the case. Unlike the last time, though, Mystikal maintained that he was innocent and fought to regain his freedom. His legal team stuck with him and succeeded in getting him released on a $3 million bond after spending nearly 1.5 years in custody on the rape charge. Mystikal.
I'm completely against everything that they're saying that this man did. 100% against. But why is his bond $3 million? People that murder people that kill kids, usually they bond not $3 million. I know they trying to set an example out, make an example out of them, but what? To me, that's crazy. And for the kids, I know I do smoke blacks. Don't do what I do. I'm trying to quit, and eventually I'm gonna get there. So if nothing else, y'all will be able to come along on this voyage with me, 'cause I do plan on quitting very soon.
who was at that time 48, expressed his relief upon release, acknowledging the test of faith and describing his journey as a walk of faith. He was grateful for his change in circumstance, comparing it to a cocoon from which he could emerge as a hero. Joel Pierce, Mystikal's attorney, shared that a trial was scheduled for May of that year, expressing confidence in clearing the rapper's name. Pierce asserted that upon closer examination of the facts, he anticipates a dismissal. Mystikal's legal team claimed to possess sufficient evidence, including video footage that supported the rapper's innocence in the alleged crimes. They believe that once the district attorney reviews the case, it will become apparent that Mystikal was not culpable. A break in the case came not for the prosecution, but for Mystikal, when on the 17th of December 2020, the charges were dismissed. The dismissal was attributed to a lack of evidence. This was awesome news for Mystikal, who had been in this particular battle for 3 years. Unfortunately for the rapper, this particular legal battle cost him his career. Even after release on bond, Mystikal could barely find work. The dismissal of the charges was supposed to be like the dark clouds being lifted away from him, but it was obvious to Mystikal that it was not going to be so easy. Life in prison? Any fan of the hip-hop or rap genre would not need any convincing of the talent Mystikal displayed in his music. In an interview in April 2021, after the rape charges were dropped, he talked about turning his life around and taking a different approach with his music. But come 2022, Mystikal still had nothing out on the streets or in the record labels. Neither did he have.
And that's his unique style of how he rapped. That's what got him to the position that he was in. He was different than anybody who came before him and anybody who came after him. A lot of people tried to like emulate that style that he had, but I don't think anybody ever really rocked it the way he did.
Have any music he was working on since 2017, except for the few featuring deals and other artists' songs he got. In fact, if you were into making bets, you would have been very disappointed if you placed a bet on Mystikal's music career experiencing a mysterious bounce back. But as 2022 turned into the second half, for the third time in 2 decades, Mystikal was once again arrested for and again, Mystikal renewed his acquaintance with jail on July 31st, 2022. This time it was.
Now, I knew that there was 2 times that he did this or accused himself or doing it or whatever. But they shouldn't even have the opportunity. There shouldn't be an opportunity for there to be a second time or a third time or a 5th time. You got to move different. Once you know better, do better. Completely.
For more than just first degree. He faced the following additional charges: simple criminal damage to property, false imprisonment, domestic abuse, battery and strangulation, and simple robbery. The world was shocked by the news. Even his fans were hysterical as they kept asking how this could be happening to their beloved rapper all over again. The disappointment was everywhere, but the fans rallied and started demanding his release,
he didn't learn from his
just
mistakes.
like the last time he was innocent. However, things were not looking good for Mystikal this time, as this incident of rape involved reportedly the mother of his son, Million Tyler. She had been co-parenting with Mystikal for over a decade until their breakup a couple of years ago. The troubling episode unfolded when his baby mama unexpectedly visited Mystikal's house to discuss past finances related to their son, who is now an adult. Despite having a restraining order against her, they engaged in an argument during the discussion, which primarily revolved around financial support for their son. Mystikal, who was 50.
All right, we're going to stop this one right here. I will be right back with another one. But just closing on this, how could she be at your house when you got a restraining order on her? Anything that happens after that point, you pretty much ask for that situation. Like if she's got a restraining order, go by it. You know, a lot of times, not a lot of time, most of the times the system is not on our side. So why would you even entertain anybody who you got a restraining order on? You put that restraining order in place, so you violated it by allowing her to come to your place. Even if she shows up at the door, do what you're supposed to do. Stay your ass inside and don't communicate. I ain't saying he should have called the police on her. The law wants you to call the police. But that would have been better than opening the door, allowing her to come in and y'all sitting down talking about y'all situation. Y'all can't sit down and talk about anything for a reason because you put that restraining order on her. Do better. All right, this is Opinionated 3000. I am Mr. Opinionated.